All right, let's talk about something that sounds, well, kind of intimidating. Building a C compiler from the ground up. I mean, for a lot of us who write code, that feels like trying to climb Mount Everest in flip-flops. It's this legendary, impossible peak that only the absolute wizards of programming would even dare to attempt.
Exactly, right? It just sounds like this mythical beast. You immediately picture these massive, sprawling code bases, crazy complex algorithms, and just months, if not years, of silent, frustrating work before you even get a single thing to run. It feels like one of those projects that's specifically designed to crush your spirit.
But here's the thing I discovered, and it completely flipped my perspective on this. What if the problem isn't the mountain itself? What if the problem is just the map we've all been given? What if there's a different path, a smarter trail that makes the whole journey not just possible, but actually kind of fun?
So to really get this new path, we have to look at why the old one is so brutal. This is the way it's usually taught in textbooks, and honestly, it's a recipe for burnout.
So just look at this contrast, because it says it all. The old way is like trying to build a car by building the entire engine first, then the entire chassis, then the entire body. You can't turn the key or drive it 1 inch until every single piece is perfectly in place months later. The smart way? You build a skateboard first. It works. Then you add a seat. It still works. Then a tiny motor. Hey, it works. You have a functioning thing at every single step.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. It's all about psychology. As humans, we need those little wins, that little dopamine hit of seeing something actually work. Without that, your motivation just evaporates. You're completely lost in a sea of code with no landmarks, wondering if you're even sailing in the right direction.
So let's talk about that better trail. This is really the core aha moment of this whole thing. It's a philosophy of incremental development, and it completely flips the script.
So forget the skyscraper blueprint. We're going to plant a seed. It starts as a tiny sprout, but it's alive. It's a complete, living thing from day one. Then it grows a branch, then another. At every single stage of its growth, it's a fully functional living tree. It's just a little smaller. That's exactly how we're going to build our compiler.
And here's how we do it. We start ridiculously small. I mean, our first language can only understand a single number. That's the entire program. It feels almost silly, right? But this disciplined, one-step-at-a-time approach is the entire secret to making this whole thing work. Okay, enough talk. Let's actually take that first step. I really want to show you just how achievable and not scary this is. What you're about to see is our entire compiler, our little seed. Look at this. It's just 10 lines of C. All this program does is take a single number from the command line, and then it just prints out some text. That text just happens to be assembly code, which is the native language that your computer's processor speaks. So really, it's just a fancy template. And this is how we run it. We execute our little program, 9cc, we give it the number 42 as our source code, and we tell it to save all that text it prints out into a file called tmp.s. That .s just means it's an assembly source file. And this is the output. How cool is that? The first few lines are just some setup instructions. The real magic is in the last two. Move RAX:42 just means move the number 42 into a special little spot in the CPU called the RAX register. And ret simply means return, or okay, we're all done here. And just like that, we have a working end-to-end compiler. It takes source code, a number, and it produces a program. That's our skateboard. It's our sprout. It's a tiny, perfect victory. And that feeling gives us the momentum to keep going.
So, we've planted our seed, we've built our skateboard. Now, how do we grow it? Let's add our very first real feature and see how this method scales. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, so this is a question I know you're probably thinking about. A simple left-to-right approach doesn't work for something like 5 plus 6 times 7. If you do 5 plus 6 first, you get 11, then times 7 is 77. But we all learned in math class that the correct answer is 47. The computer needs to understand that multiplication comes before addition. So how do we teach it that?
Well, the trick is to transform that flat line of text into a hierarchical data structure. It's called an abstract syntax tree, or AST. It basically turns that code into a tree, where the plus is at the root, 5 is one child, and the entire result of 6 times 7 is the other child. The structure of the tree itself enforces the rules of math.
So once we have this tree, how do we generate code from it? We use a cool concept called a stack machine. Just imagine a stack of plates.
To do 6 times 7, we push 6 onto the stack, then we push 7. Then the multiply instruction pops both of them off, multiplies them, and pushes the result, 42, back onto the stack. It's a beautifully simple way to walk our tree and spit out the correct assembly instructions in the right order.
Now, I know you're thinking, okay, but building that tree sounds like the real hard part. The technique for it is called recursive descent parsing, which sounds way scarier than it is. The core idea is brilliantly simple. You just write a function for each piece of your language. So the function for addition calls the function for multiplication, which in turn calls the function for a number. This chain of function calls is what elegantly builds the tree for us. It feels like magic, but it's just a really clever mechanical process. Okay, so we've climbed pretty high now. We've seen how to start small and add complexity with tools like ASTs and parsers. But the most important lesson here isn't actually about compilers at all.
This entire journey is really a perfect example of a universal truth about building software. This incremental, test-driven, always working approach is how you tackle any project that feels too big, too complex, or too intimidating. It's a mindset, a strategy, that makes the impossible feel possible.
And it all comes down to this simple, powerful loop. 1. Start with the absolute tiniest version that works, our single number compiler. 2. Write a test to prove it works. 3. Add one small feature, like the plus operator. 4. Make sure all your tests still pass. And 5. Repeat. That's it. That is how you build robust, complex systems without losing your mind.
This method just demystifies complexity. It turns these daunting mountains into a series of manageable little steps. So the question isn't whether you can build a compiler, or a game engine, or a database. The question is, what's the tiniest, simplest, first step you can take on that project today?
This explainer is generated with Google's Notebook LM, based on cited resources and for reference only. Take this further. I'm genuinely excited to see what you discover. Comment topics you'd like covered, leave a rating, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Until next time.